Let's go!
It's been a full 2 years since the launch of the original Splatoon for Wii U. Arguably one of the best games on the platform, the original Splatoon was received very positively by fans and critics alike. Praised for its new and interesting take on the third-person shooter, Splatoon not only served as a breath of fresh air for the genre, but for Nintendo as a whole by becoming the best-selling new IP in Japan since Wii Sports, clocking in at over 1.3 million copies. That's a lot of Squid Kids. Remaining as colorful and chaotic as ever, Splatoon 2 aims to improve on the original in nearly every way, with new modes, weapons, and various changes to gameplay that further refine the already stellar amount of polish from the original. With all this in mind, there's only one question that remains. Is Splatoon 2 the sequel we've been waiting for, or does it get splatted? As is the case with many sequels, Splatoon 2 isn't reinventing itself or trying to be something that it's not, and more about refining and improving upon the already great foundation the series has established. This design philosophy remains evident throughout the majority of what Splatoon 2 has to offer, but nowhere is this more apparent than in the game's single-player campaign. Splatoon 2 features a single-player campaign that's structured almost identically to that of the first game, even down to the exact same amount of hub worlds and individual levels. However, it's what the game manages to do with that space that truly sets it apart from its predecessor. For one, Splatoon 2 features a ton of variety as far as level design goes. Whether it be the tropical, oceany environments, industrial parks, or even the sometimes flat-out stealth levels, Splatoon 2 constantly puts you in new situations and settings that keep the campaign feeling fun and fresh throughout. Another thing that Splatoon 2 does much better than the original is introduce players to all of the different weapon types. Where you were previously limited to the splatter shot, now you're often given a weapon from Sheldon at the start of each mission, thus changing the way you maneuver and take down enemies. This small change makes for some very clever platforming sections that make each level feel well thought out and satisfying to complete. Online multiplayer is the core component of nearly any Splatoon player's experience, and I'm happy to report that it plays just as fun and chaotic as ever. All of the modes from the previous title remain intact, with Turf War still remaining the most popular of the bunch. However, the game does include a few new items, maps, weapons, and abilities that keep Splatoon 2's multiplayer feeling as fresh as it's ever been. My personal favorite of the bunch has to be the new Inkjet Ability. There's just something so therapeutic about splatting my enemies from a distance while getting an awesome bird's eye view of the chaos below. Perhaps the most interesting new addition to the game's online experience has to be the new deliciously titled Salmon Run. Salmon Run is a 4-player co-op mode that pits your team of 4 against hordes and hordes of vicious salmon, with the objective being to collect enough eggs to fill your quota for each round. On paper, it's a simple enough concept, but as each round goes by, not only do the salmon grow in numbers, but the amount of space you have to defend against them shrinks as well, requiring for a good amount of communication and awareness from all members of the team. It's a fun mode, and when teamed up with the right teammates, it's even become one of my favorite modes to play. When it comes to sequels, it really becomes a bit like a balancing act in trying to strike that happy medium between old and new. Splatoon 2 gets this right, and captures all of what made the original so great, and even includes its own worthwhile additions in the process. Through fantastic level design and the most highly addictive multiplayer on the platform, there's no denying that Splatoon 2 would make an incredible addition to any Switch owner's library.